All right, let's talk about The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 6, Guns for Hire. Spoilers, of course, for this episode, so if you've not seen it, best go away, watch it now, and then come back a little later. But let's get into my initial thoughts for this episode. I'm conflicted about it. I'm conflicted about this episode because there's some stuff I liked about it. There's some stuff I actually really liked about it. But then there's some stuff that didn't really work for me. And yeah, I don't know. It just, man, I wish I could like it. But it just didn't work for me. And you probably know what that is about this episode. But let's get into it, of course. We start off with Mandos, of course. We have Casca Reeves and Axe Wolves, of course. Axe Wolves is the guy right there, of course. You remember from the last seasons, of course. Casca Reeves, of course, played by none other than Sasha Banks. They're, of course, commandeering this ship that's got like a Corran commander. And, of course, she's fallen in love with a Mon Calamari. I thought it was kind of funny. They're like them in love right here. I thought, I was like, okay. Okay, that was funny. I mean, it was cool. But I guess it was to show that Mandos are like they are paid for hire, just as the episode was titled. And they even say or there's like the Mon Calamari questions their loyalty, and the Axe Wolves is like, yeah, we're loyal to whoever pays us. So yeah, we saw that. So let's go to Bo, and of course Din heading to the planet Plaisir 15, and they wanted to go there, of course, to meet with Axe Wolves and the other Mandos, of course, Casca Reeves. But they get sidetracked because, they want, like, the leaders of the planet want them to like go on a mission for them. And Plaisir, what's it called? Plaisir 15 is actually a pretty nice planet. It looks pretty I like it. It's, of course, got that Mandalore look to it, of course, like that right there. So it looks pretty cool, and it looks very slick. I like the settings for it. And of course, that brings us to Jack Black and Lizzo showing up in the episode, playing Captain Bombardier and the Duchess, the leaders of this planet, Plaisir 15. And I'm not gonna lie, it took me out of the episode. Like, I like Jack Black, I like Lizzo. I mean, who doesn't like them? I think Jack Black is one of the most lovable actors in Hollywood, and he's having a big week with Mario that's coming out today, playing Bowser or voicing Bowser. So it's like, yeah, I like them, but it just took me out of the episode. I just was like, I don't know, it just felt weird. It almost felt like a kind of like a sketch, I guess, but it wasn't. It was real. But I like the fact that Grogu just jumped right into Lizzo's like arms when she wanted to see him. So I thought that was cool. I mean, yeah, they were fine, I guess. The episode it just took me out, man. It just took me out. I just wish I can get behind it and like it, but I don't know. I didn't hate it though. I know there's certain people out there that are probably hating on this so much. I didn't hate it, but didn't quite like it. It just took me out, and I just really couldn't get with it, I guess. But they wanted Din and Bo to go on this like mission, of course. But they wanted them to look into what's going on with the droids on the planet, because they have battle droids on the planet that are pretty much doing a lot of work on the planet, and of course, but like they're going erratic, of course. Just some of them are going erratic. So yeah, they wanted Bo and Din to look into it, and there we saw Christopher Lloyd show up. So I knew Christopher Lloyd was going to show up this season, because I know, like, I read when he was casted before the season. I just didn't know what he was going to show up as. But yeah, he shows up in this episode as this, like, what's his name? Commissioner Hellgate, who's kind of overseeing the droids, of course, in here. So I thought, okay, that was cool to see him. I mean, he didn't take me out of the episode as much as, I guess, Jack Black and Lizzo. It was cool to see him. It's just to see the amount of guest stars in here that are very notable. that kind of is weird. It's just like, oh, wow, this is kind of awkward. But yeah, but it's cool to see Christopher Lloyd show up in here. But yeah, after that, like after this, it feels like a Clone Wars episode with Bo and Din going on, like trying to look into what's going on with the droids. And I kind of dig that. It was kind of a detective noir style in a way. And of course, we saw with the city, of course, in this episode. I thought, okay, that looks pretty cool. I like the city setting in this episode. And after that, of course, we see Ognats, of course, like them going to Ognats. And I like the fact that Mando Din Djarin, he brought up Quill, and he has that line, "I have spoken." So I thought that was cool too. See Ognats, I like some more Ognats in here. So that was cool. They also talked to a battle droid, which I thought was cool in here. So I thought, okay, good to hear battle droid again. I like the battle droids. They were cool. I always liked having the Legos for them. So that was cool. And then of course got Din kicking these super battle droids. That's what they're called, right? What they call super battle droids. But they're just doing labor, and Din's just kicking them. But he kicks them until he finds like the one that is or I guess one of the ones that is kind of antagonistic, and he just like knocks Din over, goes running. And I like that scene where they're just running after the droid in the cityscape. Like I mentioned before, I like that city setting, so I thought that was cool. So yeah, and of course when they capture him, that brings him to the droid bar, which is also pretty cool. More battle droids, some protocol droids, like an R2 unit right there. So I thought that was cool. And they even interviewed the droid bartender, and I thought it was cool that the droid bartender was cooperating with them, and he's saying like the droids don't want to be shut down. They want to serve the people here in the city. So yeah, I thought that was cool. Everything about the droids was pretty cool in this episode. So I thought, okay, seeing Din and Bo go on like a buddy cop mission here, I thought was cool. It's just when this part of the episode ended though, I wanted more of it. I just felt like it was kind of short. I wanted more of this kind of like episode right here. But for what we got, I enjoyed. Of course, they go to like the droid morgue, and they find out that it was Christopher Lloyd. That was the one who was having droids be all erratic. And it's revealed here that he's a separatist that's trying to frame Jack Black's Bombardier in this episode. And he even brings him Count Dooku. That Count Dooku was a visionary. So I thought that was cool. Kind of a cool Count Dooku name drop, I guess. But of course, they get Christopher Lloyd. Of course, bringing him to the Duchess, saying Bombardier. Like the one thing I thought was weird, though, is that Lizzo, the Duchess, she knights Grogu. So I was like, why knight Grogu? I love Grogu, of course, but all he did was help her win a game, that game they were playing using his force powers. Bo and Din, they were the ones that brought Christopher Lloyd back and found out who was doing this. And I was like, you're not going to knight them? Why not knight them? Oh, but whatever. I digress. And that brings us to Bo and Din finally getting to the other Mandos and encountering, of course, Axe Wolves. And there we see Bo and Axe Wolf have a fight for leadership. And of course, Bo-Katan wins. And then getting to the question of the Darksaber, Din admits that he got captured by that droid in that episode 2, I think, for the season. Yeah, it was episode 2. But yeah, he admits getting captured by the droid, losing the Darksaber, and of course, Bo saving him. And yeah, that was kind of a loophole because he said the droid was the one who took his or he said something like he took his Darksaber, but he really didn't take his Darksaber. He got captured and he dropped his Darksaber, and then of course Bo-Katan took the Darksaber. But yeah, it's a loophole, technicality, sort of, whatever. So he was able to actually give it back to Bo-Katan. And of course, with that ending, of course, with Bo-Katan with the Darksaber, pretty cool though. It was pretty cool. Not as cool, of course, as Rebels when Sabine gives her the Darksaber and she just holds it up in the air. I thought that was cool, but this is cool too. The only thing though, I think the setting was kind of weird though. I like the setting for most of the episode. Even with where Jack Black and Lizzo, in their kind of where their home was, I guess, or whatever. It was pretty glitzy, and of course with the city, but where they had this fight, or where Bo and Axe had this fight and having this moment here, it just looks like a park, and it almost just looks like a fan film. And I thought, okay, maybe that kind of also took me out of the episode too, but generally I liked it, I guess. But I don't know. But I'm also conflicted about the Darksaber, about Din giving her the Darksaber back, because I wanted Din to get better with it. And who knows? Like, I don't, like, maybe Din will get it back at some point, and he'll practice with it more, I guess. But I don't know. But yeah, I wanted to see Din with the Darksaber more. But it's cool to see like Bo-Katan, because she knows how to use it, and she knows how to use it very well. So I thought, okay, I mean, if she's gonna lead a Mandalore, she's gonna have the Darksaber, and she's gonna be on the Mythosaur, I guess. So I don't know, and it really is shaping up like this season is the Bo-Katan show, which I'm not mad at. So I generally like parts of the episode, but then there's stuff I didn't really like so much in this episode. But it does get the plot moving along a little bit, but it might be a little bit too late, because with 2 episodes left, I just don't know. And I feel like with this with this season, I just accepted that it's just mostly side quests, and there's been side quests in The Mandalorian for sure, but I feel like to this, like, for this season, it's just been like to a larger extent, and it's just like, okay, I just accepted it because the episodes like are good. I think the episodes are generally good. This might be the weakest of the episodes this season, but it's still, I don't mind it. It's actually like I enjoyed it. It's just like, yeah, it's not boring. It's not like Boba Fett. I just wish it had a more overarching plot, but maybe this is just it. Maybe this is it. Just Bo-Katan leading the Mandalorians and bringing them all together, and then it probably leads off on a cliffhanger or something like that. I don't know. Moff Gideon comes in, or Admiral Thrawn comes in. I don't know. Something like that will probably happen, and it might even lead up into Ahsoka. So we'll see about that too. But I don't know. And I know we're getting a Ahsoka trailer. There's probably this weekend, maybe because Star Wars Celebration is this weekend. So hey, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, tell me what you thought about the episode, though. Did you enjoy it? Did these guest stars take you out of it? So yeah, so you can tell me down below your thoughts on the episode. You can stick in the channel for more Mandalorian reviews, movie talk, TV talk, all that sort of stuff on my channel. So yeah, till next time, I'll see you folks later. Rebel out.